Hey guys, today I'm joined by Mike. We're coming to do some filming this morning. I said to Mike, just hit a couple of shots, let me just see where he's at to make sure he's making the progress ready for next week's driver lesson. And what we're working at is clearing his shoulder, trying to make sure he's not getting trapped on the inside. So, hit a couple of shots, and Mike's idea of clearing the shoulder wasn't the right feeling for him, and he was really struggling with it. So, what we did is we explained where it was going wrong, gave him a new feeling, but it's trying to create exactly the same swing type in terms of making more room for him. But this just goes to show how individual golf is. So this one swing thought that we've given him today has completely transformed the downswing and looks amazing. And straight away he's been able to actually do this with like 3 woods and 7 irons pretty comfortably. We're not saying he's been able to do them flat out and hammering it to go and play on the golf course with it, but he's grasped that feeling straight away. So what we're going to do is make a quick video, show you how those changes are. Mike's going to explain what those feelings are to you guys. Show us what your thought was on how you were trying to clear the shoulders, just in slow motion.
So yeah, obviously we're trying to work on feeling that shoulder getting away from the chin was something you were trying to get me to do. But I don't know, for me, it just wasn't working. Obviously I was still dropping it inside. And then you've obviously given this feeling today of trying to feel the chest is turning.
Yeah.
And making sure that left arm is rotating and the wrist is bowing.
Okay.
So, I mean, the chest thing for me is really, like, as a first thought, that, like, I can feel the chest turning, as opposed to that, I can't feel, I don't know, I just can't feel that shoulder turning away. It's not something that really registers with me.
Yeah.
So I think that, coupled with the wrist bowing, that wrist turning down towards the floor pretty much.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm only doing it in slow motion, but you see on the swing how much different it's
Show us where that delivery is in terms of where it's coming from with that rotating of the arm.
Yeah, okay, I'll run through it.
So rotate it out. Okay, so we could see there was loads of room to be able to deliver that properly. Yeah. But the big thing is, when the arm doesn't rotate, it's probably going to drop down. Show us what non-rotated arm looks like for you.
Okay.
I think this is a really important one. Okay, so just make a downswing without, just slowly, just from the top, drop, and just don't rotate the arm so we can see it. Okay, so the club face a little bit more open. Yeah. But for you, normally those arms would almost like drop down your chest as well, wouldn't they? Yeah. That way. Okay, so do it again and keep your shoulders turned and let the arms drop down so we can truly see.
Oh, so the move I was doing before, right?
The old move. Show them what the old move looks like.
Okay.
From here, so you can see now that the club's behind Mike's hands there. Okay, that's going to really tend to leave it open. Yeah. So it's going to be really difficult to square that club properly. Show us the new move, mate.
Right.
So really try and get that feeling of that arm rotating outwards. So you can see there the club was so much more in front of Mike there on the way down. It made a huge difference, okay? Yeah. So that it was just the angle which the club's coming through on is way different. Just show us that into the delivery nice and slow. Just pause when the golf shaft gets back to parallel to the floor.
Yep.
See now the club face parallel to the spine, and just from there, it's really easy just to let everything turn through. So we can see that the big difference here from the front view in particular is just thinking about how that left arm was rotating with the chest almost turning towards the target. So the chest was trying to turn this way and the arm rotate outwards with the left wrist bowing. We can see now immediately that shoulder clears and you're way more forwards into impact there, okay, without any backing out, okay, and without the club dropping too far from the inside. And look at it from down the line. What we can see here from down the line is club's obviously in a really good position there at the top. So now as that's starting to get a bit of bow, we get this into this next position here. These two, we can see now how that club face is starting to get to parallel to the spine right there. So that's massive. Because then from there, everything can just then rotate through together, and we can see how passive that club face is post-impact here, and the handle is starting to disappear around with the body rotation, and it hasn't got any flip down the line. Now what was pleasing for me was we then moved with a few kind of 3-wood swings, and this one with the 3-wood was a really good swing right here. So what we saw is that once we got this to the top there, we can now see that you're able to get that idea of that left arm and get the shoulder. Now, you know, historically, you've always struggled squaring your woods.
Yeah, massively.
Now, this is nowhere near as inside.
No.
Okay, it's coming down, the club's tracking onto the ball. And we can see how online that's starting. So the ball's kind of just gone out straight away on this angle and this line right here. So that's such a better starting line for you. And the big thing for you with the woods is obviously you've always been inside, but it's controlling the starting line is probably the number one most important thing. You can see it here with the 3-wood again from the front view. Look at how that shoulder's just cleared away from the chin in this direction. Hands are in front, way different impact position. And it just goes to show that sometimes just changing those thoughts in what is individual for you really does end up creating the same change that we were aiming for, but just with a different swing thought that works individual for you.
Moving forward now, is it just a case of, as you talk about that ladder, bringing the pace up where I feel comfortable, owning it, and then slowly getting quicker and quicker until I can actually do that at full pace? What
I want you to do is in your session over the next week is start off with them slow, build it up, start hitting the low, the full ones. We even hit a couple of drivers, we tried a couple of those. 3-wood was great. So it goes to show that you were able to do this with a 3-wood straight away, so that's clearly the right thought for you because you grasped onto it straight away. You weren't just only able to do it in super slow-mo, you were able to do it with a relative reasonable bit of speed. So once you've got that then with the 3-wood, then go and do it in the practice. Start off slow, build up to full speed and finish off with them a bit slower. So then at the start and the end of the session, like a warm up and cool down in all of the sport, you're then backing that session up with the really good concrete feelings. Therefore, that will really make you advance quite quickly in taking that ownership. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the kind of impromptu lesson that we just had. It was massive, and what I think everyone should take out of this is getting these thoughts for your game that are completely individual to you. Okay, so I've got a lot of content out there on YouTube, but not all of that content's for everybody. Find out the bits that work for you, okay? You know, if that means getting some instruction or finding what the root cause is to your swing issues. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and talk with you again very soon.